our United States studio. We have a guest viewers today, PTSD, mental health, and so many others specialists, our good friend Mary Joy. And also we have a regular, our co-host and our good friend Todd Goldfinger. Both of you, Millennium News 24, welcome. Please introduce Mary Joy yourself.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, Tofader. I am a mental health counselor in the state of Florida. I used to be in the music business, but I think I got people in touch with their feelings with each of those careers. And I've spoken with Todd before on his podcast, so I'm here to help anybody with issues they may have, and I'm going to take questions on the wing, so we'll see what happens. I like to do that. I think whatever's relevant just comes up out of a conversation. I do believe in that collective consciousness.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Todd, please introduce yourself. Todd.
Hello, my name's Todd Goldfinger. Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great, fantastic. So my name's Todd, and I guess you could say I'm a mental health advocate, for lack of terms. I didn't take any modules or any tests for that, but you can call me a peer. Because of being a peer, I had a YouTube channel, and so my YouTube channel got up to about 300 subscribers, and then I said, let me do something much better. Let me do Millennium News TV 24/7 Global News Network and see what that's about. And here we are today with Mary Joy, coming full circle, right back around again. My final guest on my YouTube channel was Mary Joy from winterhavencounseling.com. And she was a great guest because my friends, back home here, in New York, they loved her show. And it actually came out of necessity that I did a show with Mary Joy. I was doing many shows about the topic of psychedelics and how psychedelics can be used to treat mental health and essentially help save humanity. But that's another topic, another show. So today we're talking about relationships and codependency, and that's another thing altogether. Because once you're born, guess what? The good news is you're codependent. The good news is you can be interdependent. But I don't want to ruin the book for you because I have it right here.
Thank you, Todd.
But yeah. So Mary Joy, maybe you can take it from here, please.
Well, the book I wrote is Codependent Discovery and Recovery and 2.0, a holistic approach to healing and freeing yourself. Codependent is a lot of people don't understand the term. I'm going to explain what it used to mean. It used to mean you were living with someone who was dependent on a substance, hence you were codependent. That's no longer what it means. It expanded. So now it means that you've given up yourself caring for others. That doesn't mean you're too compassionate. It means your compassion has turned to a compulsion to help others to your own detriment and to their benefit. It's people who burn out, give out. We saw this a lot during COVID with healthcare workers that just couldn't do it anymore. There's less mental health counselors now because a lot of them went out of business, or more people sought mental health, and there weren't enough of us around. They're trying to change some rules and ethics things now so we can do telehealth, even if our licenses aren't in that state, and there was provisional licenses during COVID because of burnout. So codependency is when people just give out till they burn out. There's another kind of codependent that's the nagger, and you're going to go to rehab or else. They give ultimatums. They nag. They do interventions, and so they're both driven by a fear of abandonment. They often get involved with narcissists. And I call addiction faux narcissism because the person is consumed with the substance, not themselves, but a narcissist or a sociopath is consumed with themselves. And that codependent just keeps trying to meet their needs. And the narcissist is also driven by a fear of abandonment. So we've got this subconscious dance, and what I do in that book is to help people become conscious of their subconscious. They break the trauma bonds, they break the codependency, they become independent first, and then interdependent, which means healthily interdependent, meaning we all have to depend on each other. We're all a little codependent. We're all a little bit that way. And codependency is a lot like addiction too. You get good chemicals when you give, and they have a very hard time receiving. So as a counselor, I hope people learn to receive so they can give freely. Hopefully that helps.
Very good. Mary, can I asking something else? Our country, United States of America, we have a lot of brothers and sisters, soldiers, coming from overseas, fighting for our democracy. But when they come back, they have a lot of issue, PTSD, mental health, so many others. So how we can help them, or these things can prevent,
Well, first and foremost, how we can help them is way beyond saying thank you for your service. I have military members in my family. They don't feel like heroes. They feel little pieces of them have broken away and they left them wherever they were. And they actually have. The second thing that's important is like way beyond thank you for your service. And it's nice to say that. I understand that when you don't know what to say, it's better than saying nothing. But realize that in that service, if they got PTSD, it is not a mental health disorder. It's not that they're weak. Their brain has rewired. They have seen so many atrocities like we see in Ukraine. I'm warning people, don't watch the same repetitive images of Ukraine over and over and over, because you will not just get vicarious trauma, but eventually you'll get desensitized to the atrocity, and then it becomes normalized. When you desensitize, it normalizes. So people look at PTSD as a mental health issue. Why can't you just get over it? Time heals all wounds. That is a myth from the gates of hell. It's a myth, because time does not heal all wounds. It's actually, if you put too much time on it, you get post-traumatic stress disorder. They call it post because it really means past. So past traumas, when they stack, and what I notice, and I treat veterans, and I used to go on house calls with my dad. Not everyone lives, so I see it not in their perspective, but I've had a taste of it that helps them trust me, because trust is a very difficult thing for them to have. And I tell them the story that I went through as a child to help them trust me. It's a very short story, but I tell them just so I know what it feels like to watch someone slip through your fingers and you can't save their life. I understand that. But what we don't understand now, I get so upset with people when they say these kids are just weak and they're just coddled and they're spoiled and that's why they get PTSD. I'm like, no, I'm in my 60s. We had Vietnam. You went on a tour, you came home. But now they deploy them and tell them to come back. They deploy them and tell them to come back. So each time they go, a little bit more of their psyche chips away. And if they don't get some help in between, which they usually don't, debriefing usually takes place in an airport in a room, and they hand them a card for mental health counseling if they need it. And I'm not complaining about our government. I'm grateful to everyone in our service. But we do need to treat PTSD as it is. It is a medical disorder that affects your brain, not just your mind, your brain. It rewires your brain. You have no sense of safety, and there's a constant release of cortisol and adrenaline that floods you, and then numbing dissociates you. So it's flooding and numbing, flooding and numbing, flooding and numbing is the best way I can describe it. And your brain's doing it. Hypervigilant, feeling detached, withdrawn. You have a constellation of symptoms, nightmares, and not everybody has the same symptoms. So it's hard to detect, and most of them are pretty good at hiding it. So we need to have great respect for people who are in service, who come out of service. They need peace, they need gentleness, they need understanding, and they are subject to have a little intermittent outbursts of anger. So, know before they blow, believe them when they tell you they're upset, and give them some space and room and help them process their emotions. Hopefully that helps.
You are 100% right. Our government helping them, but is not enough. They have a hospital, veteran hospital, one of the worst service in this earth. So many people complain with us. Hopefully, government gonna be watch. Mary, we are as a human in this planet. Everyone have some mental issue and mental health issue. Not only for soldiers, So many people using bad drug and their life going spoil. So
Yes.
what our government gonna do, and like you and us, we can do for these people?
Well, removing the stigma would be the best thing of all, because back when my dad was a psychiatrist and his heyday, psychiatry in the 60s and 70s was in its heyday. Everybody had a psychiatrist, everybody had a therapist, everybody was going into psychoanalysis. It's like a fad. I mean, really. And it opened up windows and doors and gateways to getting better. A very famous book was The Guide to Rational Living by Albert Ellis. It's about rationally emotive behavioral therapy, which was the precursor to cognitive behavioral therapy, which we use today. You change your thoughts, you change your behaviors. All of those things just kind of got shoved aside. I really don't know if it was insurance companies. I do know most states shut down mental health hospitals. And, everybody says it's one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Not every mental health hospital was one flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's not. Many, and there are states that have them. There's good ones and bad ones. There's good therapists and bad therapists. There's good doctors and bad doctors. But if we could somehow get back our state mental health institutions and update them and upgrade them. And we have so many new medications now. We have brain imagery we did not have even just a decade ago. We were not able to see inside the human brain like we can now. We have imaging for every illness that we did not have before. Let's take advantage of the technology to take all the stigma off. In 2008, like it or not, I'm not into this for a political discussion, but in 2008, George Bush signed a Mental Health Parity Act to pair mental health back with physical health. I just heard President Biden say something about that. I really don't know what he just said about it. The bill was signed in 2008, and no one seems to notice. So hopefully, people will notice that mental health. Where's your mental health in your brain? Where's your brain in your body? It's that simple. Your mental health is not floating out there somewhere. It's in here. And when you feel mentally upset, you usually feel it in your head or your vagus nerve, which we can get into later, but it'll affect butterflies in your stomach or takes your breath away, those kind of trauma responses. But your mental health is in your brain. That's where it is. So that's in your body. So put them together. It'll take the stigma away. Yes, some mental disorders create behaviors that seem bizarre or unacceptable. However, if we understand the physiology behind it, the stigma goes away. When I tell people that are codependent, that there's a physiological reactivity, that, when everybody says, why don't women just leave battering men? Why don't you just leave? I'm like, tell them, why don't they just stop doing heroin? Because they're addicted to this person. They are physiologically, chemically addicted to someone who's harming them, just like a substance. And a trauma bond is physiological, not psychological. So hopefully this helped take the stigma off, realize that it's not mental health, it's brain health.
You are 100% right. Mary and Todd, please stay with us. Viewers, we are going to short break. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
are back to Raise America. We are talking about PTSD, mental health, so many others. Right now, our good friends and Todd get the floor. Todd.
Well, it's wonderful to be here again on Millennium News TV 24/7 Global News Network with today's America. Our guest today is Mary Joy from WinterHavenCounseling.com. Get it out. Therapy could be for just about anyone, I would say. And Mary Joy, maybe you can tell us more about it.
Well, almost everyone in their lives needs mental health counseling. When we become mental health counselors, we go to mental health counseling. Even our graduate programs, we all sign waivers that say if something comes up in class, because we have to discuss our own stuff in general terms, that we can't hold the school responsible. We go into psychology as an occupational hazard. But yes, everyone. I think mental health is. I wish everybody would do it just like they check their blood every year and their heart rate and their blood pressure. We all have life events that affect us negatively that we can learn to process positively. And any good therapist, and I'm one of them, we have a therapist. In fact, there's a book out right now. There's several books out there right now written by therapists and their therapists. So it's finally the stigma. It's us as mental health counselors that need to lift that stigma. Of course, how are we going to give therapy if we don't receive? Again, you need to receive to give. So we have to work on our own stuff so we don't take it in that therapy room with us. So everybody needs it. Doctors, lawyers, everyone, streetcar conductors, name a profession. We all have life events. We all have grief issues. At some point, we all even small things, the accumulation of a bunch of small things. I do not like that saying, don't sweat up small stuff. When you have stacks and stacks and stacks of small stuff, that's when you're likely to crack. That straw that broke the camel's back, I'm more inclined to believe in that one. Because even just the small stuff, just invent it so you can reinvent. That's CBT in a nutshell. In the words of Yoda,
Your sound getting up.
Could you repeat the last line from Yoda, please?
Mary, your sound is
Mary.
up.
Oh no, during Yoda. I think it has to do with the internet connection.
here we are.
But we can continue. Oh, here we go. Yoda, please, Mary.
Okay, so Yoda, we're back. When Luke Skywalker told Yoda, who he went to the abyss to talk to, he said, "My father is Darth Vader," and Yoda simply just said, "Oh, okay, that's all right. You just have to unlearn what you've learned." I love that because when I was in school when that movie came out, and I'm not a big Star Wars fan or anything, I just said, oh my gosh, that is cognitive behavioral therapy. You have to unlearn, which means recondition what you were conditioned to believe. Our perceptions are our reality. So if your perceptions are askew or have been run through a filter of improper thoughts that do not benefit you or anyone around you, then you need to get some help to redirect the trajectory of your life. So that's back to Yoda. Yeah, he taught him to fight, he taught him to relearn everything, and he taught him to go back out there and the force is with you. Greater force than, not just something inside of you. So hopefully that's the holistic side of
ourselves.
Yes, that's the holistic side of it. There's something greater than ourselves that if we feel supported by that. And I work with people of all faiths. And even people that tell me they're atheists, I don't have faith, they say, well, you have a moral compass. And your moral compass is fascinating because it's not based on fear, it's not based on doctrine. I said, so your moral compass is your faith background in that respect. So holistically, everybody has a body, a mind, and a spirit of some sort. A triangle is very strong, but if you break one side of it, the whole thing collapses. So it's very important to address the holistic person, body, mind, and spirit.
That's right. And if you're going to make album, you're going to need a great producer. And in place of a producer, we have therapists. I know it's very abstract term, but if
well, I feel like as a therapist, like I said, I was a songwriter. So I don't know if it's a producer so much as
The outside ear. Sorry. The
Yeah.
outside ear is what I'm talking about.
like the movie director doesn't, some directors I've heard, and I used to be in that business, so I know some are really hands-on, tell you every single movement. They're very controlling. Other ones allow the actor to unfold the character. So that's exactly what I'm doing in therapy. I'm the guidance. I'm helping direct their trajectory into a positive light, even if it's a negative thing they're dealing with, such as grief, and to find what they're learning because of something, not from it, but because of it. You know, how can you positively process this negative event, or how can you make your life better? Like life coaches just help people make their life better. So that, that's just tweaking things you already have and use that ability. So yes, in that perspective, I can see how it's a producer. You're putting things together for people. Yes. I help people listen to themselves. That's what I do. I help people listen to themselves, and I ask them not just how they do feel, but how they want to feel, and how can I help you get there. That to me is important.
Very good. This is excellent.
Great.
Mary, I know we're not gonna be talk about the current affairs or politics. My mind, our federal government send the soldier to overseas for our so-called our freedom. When they come back, this is burden for state and senate, not state and city, not federal. So what kind of world we are? Federal government use us, end of the day, they don't want to take any responsibility. So you want to say something regarding this?
Oh, no, I don't want to say something. I think we've said it. I don't know if they don't want to take responsibility. I think they're overwhelmed. I think the entire system is overwhelmed. Again, let's go back to some state and local funding. I mean, these are things, because when things are done on a federal level, it can become diffused. I mean, and even though mental health issues can be the same in Indiana as they can be in Hawaii, basically humans are humans. And we all need to love, be loved and wanted and supported. But in some local places, there are different things. I mean, there are different needs in different places. There are different cultures in different states. I live in the South, I've lived in the North, I've lived out West, I've even lived in Hawaii. There are cultural differences. So each state, if each state and local government could get more involved asking for federal funding according to what they need in their area, this would make it a beautiful thing, because then we would get some honest to goodness help within that framework of our culture.
You are 100% right.
Amen.
So many states like New Hampshire, every single day, at least 80 to 100 people die opioid, mental health issue. State, city, they are sleeping. So these people, part of our family member, they are good human being, but we treat them something else. I don't want to say on the air. So you are talking about state by state. Every state have their rule regulation, but those rule regulation, this citizen, part of their family, they should take care of them. But I don't see. Todd, go ahead.
I hope it changes, because I'm going to use a very strange analogy. It's kind of like our interstate system is old. And it is called an interstate system. Our roads have potholes in them. They're working on them right now. I'll bet I don't care which state you're in, I bet you there are Bob's barricades and a bunch of orange barrels wherever you live, because our interstate system is old and broken and it needs to be revamped. Same thing with our mental health system. We just haven't gotten there yet. We really haven't gotten to realize that this system was taken apart a long time ago, and that most states just have something that we call 911. They put you in a hospital for 3 days. They farm you back out to private people, such as myself, which I don't mind doing that. But that's what happens. So there does need to be something in between the private counselor and that 3-day lockup. because in 3 days you cannot deduce really what's actually going on with someone. Particularly, you mentioned drugs, so if they have to wait till drugs are out of the system to know, is that person having a psychotic break, or did they do a substance? Because we get tests for everything all the time. So some people call it a broken system. I just call it a tired system, a weak system that needs to be fortified again. Because we have 22 veterans a day taking their own lives. That's a lot. When you start adding that up times 365 days in a year, that's a lot. We need something more than what we have. That's too many young men and women, and older ones too, taking their lives. It's an honor for me to serve those who served us, but boy, it's difficult to even get them in. That's why I'm not like every other counselor. If I have a difficult case, I sleep with the phone next to the bed because not on my watch. We've had a suicide in our family, so to me, it may be a little more urgent. Now, I don't do that every night because I would burn out too. But I don't want to lose anyone. And 22 a day, 22 veterans a day. I wish Todd could do the math because I'm terrible at math. But 365 times 22 is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
365 by 2, so 2 by 365, so that's 700 something.
Almost 800.
It's a devastating number.
Yes,
It's not a healthy number.
No,
it's not a
it's
number
not.
that should be happening.
No, we shouldn't even have to do the math on something that large. That's the problem. And so
It's sickening. It's beyond words.
it is. And now suicide has been brought up to be one, and drug use it has actually changed what the death rate is now. Mental health issues have made the lifespan decrease. Suicide has changed the teenage lifespan. It's one of the major causes of teenage death. This is scary. Very scary.
We just blaming ourselves, but someone have to get responsibility, like federal government. Federal government, we are not against them. We can criticize them, their work, their job. They doing poor work regarding the soldiers. They don't make, when they come back, they don't make anything for them. Job, housing, medical, whatever they necessarily needed. But federal government out of scene. Also, state government out of scene. City government have some burden, like a welfare, some other things. But I don't know, every single day, hundreds of people gonna be die, suicide and opioid and drug addicted. In one of the best country in the planet, United States of America, and these things happening over here, people gonna be laugh, So I don't know, do you have any idea what government should do?
Well, don't get mad at the messenger here. We the people should do something. We are the government. Each one of us is the government. Each one of us is a piece of this government. So write to your senators, write to people, tell them you want funding for this. Let it be known that this is a system. Anyone who's been touched by it. I know, like down here in Florida, we have a Baker Mental Health Act that locks people up for 72 hours, it throws them back out in the system. We have so many, there's no state hospitals here. I always said, before I die, I'll probably go and try to help fix the Baker Mental Health Act, and I will fail, but somebody's gonna start the ball rolling. Kind of like, anything, you just have to be a squeaky wheel. So we, the people, have to tell our federal government what we want and need as services, because it really is about funding. Truly, it takes a lot of money to become a counselor and a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Years of school, years of supervision. No one's paying for our education. I mean, some people may be. If you have student loans, and so it's not just about that, but it's about just funding the entire system. There's no place to help. I'll just say it in my father's words. My father said, I remember it vividly. He said when they brought in they got rid of state hospitals, and they brought in certain things that would lock people up like that. He goes, we are going to see a huge increase in homelessness because they are throwing people out with schizophrenia and other diseases. They're throwing them out on the street with a bag of medicine or a prescription that they don't even have the mental capacity to fill. And they're not going to take those meds. Those meds don't make you feel good all the time. They just keep you from having breakdowns. So really, it's just be a squeaky wheel. We are the people. So let the people who are in your local system, your senator, your House of Reps on a local level and a federal level, let them know, I've got 20,000 homeless people in my town. Hell, there needs to be facilities. You need to open up a facility for people to come in and get mental health help and have their meds given to them if they need it, a bed if they need it. Don't leave these people that are schizophrenic out in the cold. Not every person you see that's homeless is a drug addict. They may be using drugs to self-medicate.
They're sensitive people.
They're sensitive people. They usually have no family, and even the ones that are addicted are self-medicating. So just to have some compassion and understand that it's also compassion for everyone around you. I was in San Francisco not long ago and saw the 10 cities and Seattle. And I was just there very recently. And to me, every time I see it, all I think of is we need state mental hospitals, because that was conditioned by my father. And my father was correct, because that is what happened. We did not see this homelessness, because I'm 65, so I did not see this kind of thing when I was a kid. Not even when I went to big cities like Miami or New York. I didn't see this much of it. I lived in New York it's 1979. There was some back then, but not like you see in big cities now. So we do need, and there's more population too. I'm going to put that in there. We have a bigger population, so we're going to see more of it. Anybody out there who wants to yell statistics, I get it. But still, we need to help people. Local, civil, state, and federal level. These are all things that can be done. Each city can get a domestic, not just domestic violence shelter, but each city can get a homeless shelter. Each city can do that. I know Nashville had a program where people that they had to be clean, they couldn't be using drugs. Nashville took an old warehouse district that was completely unusable. It's an old part of town in Nashville. They made housing, very inexpensive housing based on what your disability check was. And they don't just house them. They're not renting those places. They own them. They're getting the private ownership. So that you see, there's so many solutions. That's what I love about Nashville. I lived there for 27 years. It's called the volunteer state for a reason. I mean, if there's a problem, they find it. I know I was there during the Nashville flood, and we had fundraisers before FEMA even got there. Because Nashville everybody was out in their boats picking up people or picking up their friends or buying groceries or getting people housing. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing when people at a local, civil, state, and federal level work at all levels, just even at your back door. You can work right there at your back door. You can do it. You can help people get services.
You are right. Todd, floor is yours.
Great. I'm thankful that we have Mary Joy from winterhavencounseling.com on the program today, because she offers such a wealth of knowledge every time she speaks to schools. So if Mary Joy would like to tell us about the Vegas, what it is, and it has nothing to do with Vegas.
No, it's spelled VAGUS, and you hear my barking dog. My dog, it's funny that he's barking, he has fear of aggression because he has been traumatized. He's a rescue dog. He's a little 9-pound min pin. Thank God he's only 9 pounds. But he has the vagus nerve too. Dogs have vagus nerves. I have a little emotional support dog right here. His name is Ace. So I know he's adorable. He says, "Let me sleep." So the vagus nerve comes out of your brainstem into your face. It's responsible for our facial expression. It goes through your throat, your heart, your lungs, your vital organs, and your stomach. Now that said, everybody's heard of fight, flight, and frozen. So when you go into fight, flight, or frozen, that vagus nerve kicks in. The same thing that takes your breath away at the Grand Canyon is the same thing that takes your breath away when you have a panic attack. But one's a negative emotion and one's a positive emotion. Because the nerve does not know the difference between fear and excitement, which does the same thing to your body. Exactly the same thing. When you're afraid, your body has the same feeling that it does when you're excited. So I help people reframe it. It's like when people say, I'm so afraid to get a divorce, I'm so afraid, I'm so afraid. I go, are you excited to start your life over? Can we reframe that fear into excitement? When we can do that, that vagus nerve can work for you instead of against you. And just to be conscious of your subconscious, to be aware of what's physiological. Again, that's physiology. That is not psychology. It's just, it has a mind of its own. We make serotonin in our stomachs. There are all kinds of things can relax that vagus nerve. I have exercises that do it. Meditation can do it. But just for people to be aware, when they feel that vagus nerve kick in and they're just about to lose their temper, I work with veterans with that. And just when you feel your chest get tight, then just stop. Take a breath. Breathe. It's just your vagus nerve talking. Just calm down and slow down. And take a breath, because then you think ahead and then you don't go off. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't go offline and make you do things you wish you didn't. It reduces your activity to know where it comes from. It's just knowledge is power. So hopefully that helps someone out there understand that your temper tantrums may have nothing to do with anything other than a fight, flight, frozen vagus nerve response from an old trauma you don't even have processed out.
You know, Doctor,
Right.
you are doing excellent job. Also, you are counseling PTSD, opioid, and mental health people. But so many state and so many doctor, they don't want to see these people. I don't know why. Like our New York state, they have a lot of issue, mental health. And state and city, they do not care those people is human being or something else. They are sleeping on the subway. They're sleeping, you live on New York, you saw it. But now is more, not a 79. Now is 2022. 79, we have only 3.5 million people New York City. Now, now is over 11 million. Okay, so think about it, how many people is homeless? But some neighborhood, they don't want to put homeless people. Some neighborhood in New York City, you know that. So what kind of human being we are? Like our TV station in New York City, you know the Bronx by Hunts Point. And close to over there, they have colorful people, multicolored people living there. Neighborhood called Farkchester. City and state try to build 50-floor building for homeless shelter. 50 floor, but community, they protest. I don't know why they protest. Those people is part of us, our family member. They don't want to put homeless shelter their neighborhood. So there is so many issues, my dear. How you and me or Todd, we going to solve? We can criticize the people, government, community, and leaders. So,
Well, and we can't solve it, in fact, but you can do what you can do where you are. I don't usually tell this about our family, but when I was little, I watched a homeless person getting beaten senseless on the street, and I made my mother turn around, and I jumped around the car like a monkey to make her do it. Because she wouldn't have done that otherwise. And I went into a homeless shelter to tell about this man that I had seen beaten, and I'd never seen that kind of poverty before. I wasn't raised around it. So every year, every Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, we didn't just bring food, we made entire meals. That's what we could do. So whatever is purposed on your heart to do it. Just do it, whatever you can do, because you'll feel helpless if you don't. If you just help someone who's helpless, right where you are, and write to people who care. We don't have a solution. I'm a solution-focused therapist. I don't have the solutions for that. I'm not a politician. I'm not an economist. I don't know what the numbers are for that. I don't know what the taxes would be. I do know that it's taxing our system to not take care of people like this. I mean, whether we take care of them or not, it's causing expenses in some way, shape, or form. So if we could just get our quote-unquote leaders to kind of bridge this gap, we're just seeing this economic crisis, kind of like just like in fascist states, we see very wealthy people and very poor people and nothing in between. So if we, I don't know, like I said, I know nothing about economy other than it's good to invest. It's good to save, but we need to invest in people too. And we need to invest in homeless people and invest in this is part of our future. It's where we are making the world unsafe by not investing. And yes, the people that are addicted, yes, I understand, but addiction is an illness, it's a medical illness. So we just keep throwing people in jail that need to be, again, in a hospital, watched and helped. If they can't make it through rehab, many people can't. The failure rate is huge for rehabilitation of drug addiction. I understand that. But if it does need money, this I know. There's things you can throw money at and it won't help. This is not one of those things. This is going to take money and lots of it. So I would leave that to people in the economy. Figure out the number of people in that area that need service. I know an insurance company one time said to me, I said, why don't you have more providers in this area? She goes, it's all about the numbers. And I said, well, don't mistake numbers for need. I said, just because I live in a county that's not heavily populated, there's a lot of, this is the county where I am. I said, don't mistake numbers for need. There's a lot of need here. I said, wow, so demographics decide on what gets funded by insurance companies and what's not, how many providers will have in one area. This is why you'll see people, the counselor that's on an insurance panel will say, well, I don't have any appointments for 4 months. They really don't. They don't. I've been one of those. They don't. I mean, I just couldn't do it anymore because it wasn't serving anyone that way. So just to work on our medical and mental health crisis too. I think it's going to take money and people with going to take a think tank of people who actually care.
Mm-hmm.
A good think tank, like with the psychiatrists, economists. That I believe in think tanks. Richard Branson's big on think tanks. He brings people from all walks of life in, sits down on this island in Necker Island. So if Richard's listening for any reason, Richard, do this. Like have a think tank on mental health and homelessness and how can we fix it? Because he's a big philanthropist. This is going to take philanthropic people and a think tank of different minds, different, because I could sit here and tell you we need state mental health hospitals. And then somebody said, well, who's going to pay for it? Taxes are going to go up. Well, I need to hear that. And then a guy who knows how to get the tax money through different ways, we need to hear that. We need a politician in there. We just need think tanks of different walks of life. Think tanks are so devalued. We just need everyday people to come into those think tanks too. So
most people don't even know what a think tank is.
It's just different people with different opinions finding common ground and trying to get a solution, not to argue, not to get their point across, to find a solution. I'm a family court mediator to work on the common ground instead of the disagreement. We collaborate instead of compete. So we need a collaborative effort between we the people and the people who govern us. They used to be called public servants. That's all I'm going to say. They used to be called public servants. And okay, serve us. We need it. So think tanks would help.
They are going big tank. They are going moon, space, Mars. They don't want to invest under poverty line people, homeless people. They don't want to see, and they don't want to pay the tax in America. Okay, so what kind of world we are right now? Mr. Todd?
Well, Elon Musk is going to be on the board of Twitter. This is sarcastic laughing. Anyway, Elon Musk, Muskie, as I like to call him, Muskie, who knows what, is what I'm going to say is that this guy has so much money. He has money than a lot of people. So because of this, instead of, if I may say the Yiddish term, fussing around Twitter, he could actually be helping lives, homeless people, people with mental health challenges, which is almost everybody nowadays, and creating places and creating things for people that would actually help humanity instead of what's the next new hot take for the Twitter. How many characters you can and look like a nincompoop. Thanks.
Well, and it's sad
Go
when
ahead.
it's like,
I'm talking about Muskie. I'm talking about
right,
Muskie.
and it is sad when stories like that include the news of the human suffering around the world. Whether it's Elon Musk or any story that includes the really hardcore need. We're going to have a lot of refugees from Ukraine, so we're going to have even more homelessness. So perhaps this new influx, and they do need political asylum, but my grandfather came from Italy off of a boat, so we need some kind of system that helps people enter and go, and we need some kind of system. Again, not a politician. So we just need a system that works, that helps people that are refugees. We have the entire globe right now is in some form of refugee state. I mean, there are people leaving. There's so many countries, like France took in many Syrian refugees. We've taken in many refugees. We need to stop the refugee states. We need think tanks globally to say, okay, quit killing people in your country. Like, we just, the world has gotten so angry, and I don't think COVID helped. I think it put us all in survival mode, survival of the fittest. Mine, and people started hoarding, and I refuse to hoard. I mean, to like the conversation, somebody said, aren't you hoarding food? And I said, I live in Florida. If I start hoarding, I'm going to buy into the fear of this. And so if I need some food, there's a bunch of tomatoes in Ruskin, Florida, and I got fish over there in Gulf of Mexico. I'll just go fishing, I'll eat tomatoes. I'm not going to hoard out of fear. Because when we get in, even the stock market is run off of fear and greed index. Even our money is run off of emotional terms. Fear and greed index. When you look at stock markets, they're run off of that. We need to quit being fearful. We need to quit being greedy, and we need to find balance. That's why they call it securities, investing in people. So we need to invest in people just like we do our money. Find that balance out of fear, out of greed, into, okay, stability. Let's help all people be stable, all countries. The UN needs to come. The UN used to be so powerful. I don't know what happened to all these things, but history repeats itself. I think we're back in the learning curve. So I'm optimistic about humanity because we're still here. That's why I'm optimistic. That's my reason. We're still here. We haven't blown each other up yet.
We're still here.
Yeah, I haven't looked outside yet, but I did hear a siren. But
we're on a quote safe landmass.
Yeah, so, and we do need to fix the planet and all those things. We need to take politics out of things that have nothing to do with politics. Health issues, not political issues. They take politicians to vote on things, but I just wish the think tank process would work a little better.
God bless. Mary Joy and
God bless.
Todd Goldfinger. All our time almost end. Mary Joy, please tell last word.
Well, I wish everyone well, and if you feel overwhelmed by any of this conversation, just do what's in front of you. There's a new saying. I don't like a lot of new sayings, but this one I love. Do the next right thing. Sometimes the next right thing, and all you can do is fold a load of laundry. Sometimes the next right thing is to feed a homeless person in your area, or find them housing, or pay your neighbor's rent if they can't pay it. Just do the next right thing. If we all do the next right thing, and we help one another, we will reach stability at some point. So I just wish everyone well, safety, and happiness. And thank you, Todd. Thank you, Tofader, for having me today and sharing with you. Sharing and caring. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Todd, last word. Todd.
I want to thank everybody for. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Listen, this is wonderful. This has been wonderful. Down to a couple minutes. So I want to thank you, everybody, for watching Millennium News TV 24/7. And today's America, it's a great show because today we had Mary Joy from WinterAidCounseling.com. Check it out because helping yourself is it's just about everything. You help yourself, you're helping humanity.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you. Viewers, our time is the end for today. We have talked about PTSD, mental health, opioid, and homeless. In America, one of the best country in the planet. But inside of America, we have to make highway, bridge, road, and also our brother and sisters, their housing, their food, their medicine, and their work. This is our duty. It's not a duty for government. Government, what they can do, whatever they can do, they can. But we have a duty too. We are American, God-gifted human being. Anyway, please watch Today's America and Millennium News 24/7. All iOS and Android device. Also, all kind of smart TVs around the world like a Samsung, Sony, LG, Roku, so many others. Also, we are in Roku Stick, Apple TV, and Amazon Stick. Globally, we are on Jadu TV and Jago BD and Radiant IPTV and so many others local boxes. Our social network address, Millennium News 24/7. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube channel, news channel, M24. Our colleagues and friends globally working for us and you round the clock. News, views, talk show, editorial, so many others current affairs. We are honor and respect our colleague and friends. Viewers, we have a foundation called Millennium Foundation USA.com. If you like to support Ukraine, Yemen, Ethiopia, Middle East, and round the world, please go to Millennium Foundation USA.com. Whatever you are, stay, peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye and take care for today. Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep in touch with us.